Welcome to today's Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled to share this one with you because we are looking at something truly mind-bending today. Right now, one of the most widely prescribed medications in human history is hiding an absolutely astonishing neurological secret. We're going to unpack a medical mystery that starts in the stomach, but actually ends up reshaping the brain. It's challenging literally everything we know about human behavior, impulse, and even violence. So let's get started.
All right, let's dive right in. This incredibly famous medication, well, it was originally just designed for blood sugar. We're talking about GLP-1 receptor agonists. You probably know them by their brand names like Ozempic and Wegovy. They were born in a diabetes lab to manage insulin, but then, as they were rolled out to the public, they started melting fat. And then they were found to reverse certain types of heart disease. But what we're looking at today goes so far beyond physical health.
The evolution here is just fascinating. Number 1, diabetes control. 2, weight loss. 3, addiction reversal. And 4, violence prevention. This drug has taken a bizarre and completely unanticipated journey from treating the body to unexpectedly reshaping the mind. It's moving from metabolic treatment to behavioral modification without anyone actually intending for that to happen.
And to really grasp the sheer scale of why this matters to all of us, think about this number, 100 million. Over 100 million people worldwide are currently taking this medication. This isn't some niche experimental compound in a tiny clinical trial somewhere. This is a drug that's already in our communities, in our workplaces, and in our homes, which makes this unfolding medical mystery incredibly relevant to our daily lives.
Section 1. The unexpected side effect. So, as millions of people started taking these drugs for their blood sugar or their waistlines, doctors and patients began reporting some pretty strange changes. And these changes weren't just showing up on a bathroom scale. They were showing up in how people behaved, what they craved, and what they cared about. We started seeing spontaneous, entirely unexpected behavioral shifts. People who had struggled with alcoholism for decades suddenly lost the urge to drink. Smokers just lost interest in cigarettes. Even compulsive gamblers reported that the drive to bet simply vanished. The drug was spontaneously curing deep-seated compulsions. And seeing this, researchers naturally had to ask a much darker, much more profound question about other human impulses.
Section 2. The Rutgers Violence Study.
To figure out if a metabolic medication could actually stop a person from acting on a violent impulse, researchers needed massive amounts of data. In a landmark study published in the highly respected journal Criminology, Daniel Semenza and his team at the New Jersey Gun Violence Research Center surveyed over 7,500 adults across the United States. And within that group, they specifically isolated 821 individuals who were currently using a GLP-1 medication. They used a validated scale to meticulously measure incidents of fighting, assault, robbery, generalized impulsivity, and alcohol use, directly comparing those on the drug with those who weren't.
What the researchers uncovered was, frankly, staggering. There is a massive drop in the correlation between feeling an impulse and actually carrying out a violent act for current GLP-1 users compared to former users. The data isn't just hinting at a minor shift here. It's showing a fundamental break in how an impulse translates into an action.
The crucial takeaway? 62%. The link between impulsivity and violent behavior is 62% weaker in current GLP-1 users. Let that sink in for a second. Someone on this drug who feels an intense, impulsive urge is 62% less likely to let that urge translate into a violent action compared to someone not on the drug.
And it goes even further. 52%. The link between alcohol use and violent behavior was 52% weaker in the GLP-1 group. We all know how alcohol lowers inhibitions and fuels aggressive actions, right? But for people on this medication, that pathway is practically short-circuited. We're looking at a near-complete rewiring of the brain's impulse-to-action pathways.
Section 3. How GLP-1 alters impulses.
So how in the world is a stomach hormone pulling us off? To understand the mechanics, we have to look at the underlying biology. The secret lies in GLP-1 receptors. For a long time, we thought of these receptors primarily as being down in the gut, working to slow down digestion and signal that you're full. But scientists have discovered that these receptors are also densely packed throughout the brain, specifically in regions that control reward, impulse, and decision-making. Activating these receptors essentially quiets the neurological storm that turns a craving into a physical action. Think about how this works in a real-world scenario. On the normal pathway, a feeling of intense anger directly and rapidly translates into a clenched fist or lashing out. But on the GLP-1 pathway, a feeling of anger occurs, but then there's a neurological pause.
The drug acts as a literal pause button in a moment of rage or intoxication, giving the brain just enough time to choose walking away instead of striking.
Lead researcher Christopher Thomas puts it perfectly. He says our findings are consistent with these medications working like cognitive behavioral therapy, weakening the path from impulse to action rather than eliminating impulsivity itself. It doesn't turn people into emotionless robots. Instead, this metabolic drug is astonishingly doing on a chemical level exactly what years of dedicated talk therapy attempts to teach on a psychological level.
Section 4. A biochemical revolution?
Are we standing on the edge of a biochemical revolution here? If we zoom out from the microbiology of brain receptors to the macro level of our society, we really have to ask what this stunning discovery could mean for the world at large. To put that societal impact into perspective, consider this: $80 billion. That is what the United States alone spends annually on its prison system. A system filled with millions of lives, both victims and perpetrators, destroyed by a single unchecked moment of impulse. If a readily available medication can inject a neurological pause into those moments, the implications for public health, safety, and human well-being are almost beyond calculation.
Now, we have to stay grounded in the science here. This study is purely observational. We have to impartially note that researchers cannot definitively prove cause and effect just yet. Longitudinal studies and rigorous, randomized experimental trials are absolutely still required. As Daniel Semenza states, we view this study as a first step, not a final answer.
But, let's think about how first steps usually work. Every drug that fundamentally changed the world started as an unbelievable first step, just like this one. Number 1, penicillin started with a contaminated petri dish. 2, aspirin began as willow bark. 3, statins, which were heavily dismissed for years before they became a staple of modern cardiology. And 4, GLP-1 might just be rewriting the neuroscience of violence.
I want to leave you with a really provocative question today. If impulse and violence are fundamentally biochemical, what happens to society when we possess the power to simply change the chemistry? It's a profound thought about the very future of human behavior. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. If you found this journey as fascinating as I did, please subscribe and follow along so you don't miss what we dissect next.